it is necessary that I will state that one of the things that they did lie about, that we were not married, we were married. This is the marriage certificate of myself and herself. This is the certified true copy from the Federal Marriage Registry in Abuja of Nigeria. And this is the certified true copy, of which they tried to deny me from having this certified true copy because, number one, when she died, they broke into our house. I'll get there, and went into the secrecy and privacy of our bedroom, ransacked the place, stole our marriage certificate, carted with our jewelries, where she kept them in a certain case and some things. And also, only God knows what else is missing in the house. But when they came to the registrar in Abuja, after all that, with some other things they've done, they spoke to the registrar to not give me the certificate because they don't want me to have legitimate authority over her. And they were telling the registrar, not me. They said to the registrar that they don't want me to control assets or properties. You understand me? So, but this is the certified true certificate to prove that we are married. This is the certificate, and this is the CTC, the certified true copy. Because fortunately for me, I have received the certified true copy before they arrived to try to poison the registrar. This is my wife's High Court change of name. She changed her name. She was never Mrs. Bello again. She changed her name from Bello to Love. You understand me now? Now, and this is publication she did on Leadership newspaper, January 2024, for a change of name from Bello to Love. So she's not Mrs. Bello. This is the picture showing ourselves getting married, and this is our immediate brother, younger brother, our immediate younger brother, who was there as a witness, who signed witness for her during the marriage. That is me. The other person with the beard is my friend who also witnessed for me. And this is the registrar herself. This is the registrar of the Federal Marriage Registry in Abuja. And that is us holding the certificate. Now, I said that because it's very poignant. Now, to go into what killed my wife, I must say that there are several things, because from the result of the autopsy, which I do have, please, I have shared that autopsy in the first video. You understand me? The autopsy result stated that she had hypertension. There was an hypertensive problem. There was an hypertension problem, or whether it's hypertensiveness. Then there is also the fact that she had heart disease. And there are other things stated there, because also there was a lung failure inside the autopsy. I shared it. I have the copy. I have ensured that the governor of Delta State got the copy of the autopsy. I've ensured that they do so. This is on Tuesday. I went there. I gave the governor the introduction of to let him know that yes, my wife has died. I would have done that earlier if they did not start creating all the negative narratives online and then taking me from one police station to another till I ended up in Abuja monitoring unit of the Inspector General of Police, which by facts on ground and investigations from GRA Police Division in Asaba to the state headquarters of the police in Delta State, Asaba still, from where all investigations were conducted and autopsy was also conducted, and I have ensured the governor has the copy of the autopsy. The autopsy was released to them since the 22nd of May, but they did not let people have it till today. That is over a month. They even lied in their press conference that the autopsy was not ready, and the autopsy was ready. And what happened was they were trying to ensure I don't have a copy of the autopsy so that I don't come out to prove that everything they said about the death of my wife not my life, my wife, Chief Mrs. Shimitelov, was a lie. She was never poisoned. She never foamed in any mouth. She didn't foam in the mouth. It was a pure lie. My wife did not foam in the mouth. Number two lie, which I want to correct, is that none of them took my wife to the hospital. I, David Favorlove, took my wife to the hospital. Asked the police of the GRA, police division of Delta State Asaba, to show you the record. I took my wife to the hospital. In fact, ask St. Luke's Hospital, Asaba, Delta State of Nigeria. I brought my wife to the hospital myself. They did not take my wife to any hospital. They lied. Ask the state headquarters. They didn't take my wife to the hospital. They lied. Ask the monitoring unit of the Inspector General of Police Nigeria. They did not take my wife to the hospital. They lied. I brought my wife to the hospital by myself. I hope we are listening to this. I am the one who brought my wife to the hospital. They are liars. They lied that they brought my wife to the hospital. Tell them I said so, and there are proofs for it. It's all there, even in statement. I brought my wife, and there are witnesses to the fact that I brought my wife. The chief security of our estate, Fine Home Estate, Summit Road, Asaba, is there. The neighbor that helped to carry my wife, because I could not carry my wife by myself. The chief security myself could not even carry my wife when I looked for the chief security. So he had to go and look for a neighbor where I stayed with my wife, because her breathing was too faint. You understand me? And then I couldn't lift her. He had to go and look for a neighbor who now came in and helped. And then I drove my wife. The neighbor sat with my wife in the car at the back of the seat. So I was the one who took my wife to the hospital. That narrative is very much a lie. Every blogger that have blogged, that have said these things, you are all in for soup, because you have spread wrong narratives that are not true without verification, without proofs. You are all liars. And all you keep saying is a member of the family told you this. Even if they are paying you and the rest, and even if you want to trend, don't trend on lies. Don't defame and destroy somebody's image on lies. They are all lies. Now, I want to go into some details that are necessary, because from the autopsy, when we know that there is hypertension and this. Now, I married my wife in January, on January 18th, 2024. We went to the registry and got married. January 19th, the second day, we did the traditional rites. I have shared the pictures and evidence. And even on my Facebook wall, you will see the evidence that we did traditional rites, organized and coordinated by our younger brother, who is between 45 to 47 years old. And if they kept lying that she was hypnotized, was her brother hypnotized too? Was the family representative that came to Abuja for the traditional marriage rites hypnotized too? We gave the marriage rites to the 9 families of their family called the Urokonoju, or whatever they call them. Now, I want to make this very short, so I'll just go into details. Now, my wife had a different past life. She was married twice. First married to Mr. Katung, then married to Mr. Bello. Before she got married to me. And she had had her precursors of life. She had had her experiences in life. She had gone through life. So from the autopsy, it has reflected that hypertension was not the hypertension that developed now. It had been in her for like 10 years past. Because by the size of the growth and enlargement of her liver, it didn't happen in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. It had been there, because this hypertensive case has destroyed some vital organs in her. Her liver, for one. Her lung, one lung that had collapsed. The heart disease was not a heart disease she had in 1 year. Now, when people are stating and they were saying she was depressed, I was not part of her depression. I want to state the things that made her depressed. Number one, she was special advisor to the governor on trade and export, but she was not getting her impress for like 1 year. She did not get a subvention. A salary like 400 and something thousand, she will still, from that salary, be running back and forth to her village to carry out political responsibilities because she was the political leader of her village for PDP. Now I know in Delta State, the people of PDP have now gone to ABC. Then it was PDP before she died. Now she was going back and forth, running that. So you can imagine she has to fuel car from Asaba to Ebu, back and forth, to do some political responsibility, take those responsibilities, the contribution, this, that, assist, this, that, all that were all telling on her. Secondly, she believed she should not have been a special advisor. She believed she should have been a commissioner because of the fact of investment, the things she has done, the extra mile she has gone. Like in the past election, from the local government, she had the best record in that election. She should have been. And she believed that she had been denied this commissioner 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Unfortunately, she also missed the 4th time. That is if the governor has done a cabinet reshuffle after his 2nd tenure, because he's now in his 3rd tenure, 3rd year. After his 2nd year, he's now in his 3rd year of his tenure, rather, because it's a 4-year tenure. It's a 4-year thing per tenure. Now, she had dated this person called Darlington in 2022. And from what she told me, it was when she was running for the House of Assembly. And he came around to say he wants to help her. The next thing, he was telling her what water to drink, giving her what food to eat. And people were telling her he was putting things in her food and she didn't understand it. And then the next thing, all she kept experiencing was lust to just sleep with him, that she will even be in the office 11, 12, she will leave the office to go and just have sex with him, sleep with him, and then he slept ringing on her finger that he's going to marry her and all that. But she wasn't that comfortable because around him is cult boys, he's an occultic person and all the rest. What is she, doing with this? So she began to pray and all the rest. Now, when she broke up with him and got married to me in March, there about 2024, I think, or April, he wrote a defamation thing about her. He put it there. My wife was always afraid of propaganda because propaganda is also defamation. She said that propaganda is one of the things he knows how to do very well. He's very good in doing propaganda. And she was always afraid of propaganda. Everybody knows women are afraid of wrong words. Women cannot be told wrong words, not to say gossip and spread wrong words or wrong things about them. So here is a copy of that defamation that he wrote. You can see his phone number there because he wrote it and put it on different WhatsApp group. The only fortunate thing then was that he didn't give bloggers, because before he got to bloggers, somebody must have called him to tell him that even if you are writing something against someone, you don't use your own number to put it on WhatsApp. Anything you put on WhatsApp, there is a phone number. See his phone number there. He wrote it by himself. And I will read it out for us to hear and know if this was not going to disturb my wife. She called my wife Shimita Bello the face of disgrace to womanhood. She said, by concerned citizen of Ebon Kingdom. She says Shimita is, he said, Shimita is the daughter of Ebon Kingdom in Oshimele North, whose lifestyle has brought disgrace to the community. Her antecedents is a shame to womanhood. She said, number one, she married a man from Kaduna, whom she deceived that she was pregnant, and he was left with no option but to marry her. She had a daughter there, but was chased away from the marriage because of her infidelity. She forced the man to buy a house for her in Abuja, which the man did, so she left him alone. Now, that is number one. Number two, when she left the Kaduna man, she hooked another man from Kano State, but infidelity made the man to drive her away. Now, he said she ran to another man from Benue State, precisely Makurdi, where the same issue of infidelity came up. She claimed to be pregnant for the man, but later aborted the pregnancy. This led to her being driven away by the man. He continued again to say she continues her journey of infidelity and marital involvement from Core North to Middle Belt and further entered to the land of a Kogi man who resides in London. Had a daughter for him, but he later discovered that she wasn't what he thought, but only a married flirt and flirting with the public and any available victim. The Kogi man was deceived that she had never married before and made him do court marriage with her. The end of this one saw her again in the land of a Kwara state, a man with 4 children. The man married her, had a secret wedding with her in Abuja. She even wrote publicly recently that her own senior brother is not a biological brother, although that is their family matter. Shimita is bestowed with a chieftaincy title in the land of Ibu, but her lifestyle does not portray such honor. Hence, the concerned indigenes of Ibu Kingdom is calling on His Royal Majesty to strip her of the chieftaincy title since Shimita is a disappointment. She also went further to spite on one of her illustrious sons in the presence of Godwin Oduma, who is currently causing problems in the peace-loving Ibu, as she has been summoned in Ibu to face disciplinary committees. Recently, she accused one Mrs. Grace Akogovia of selling her out to some top politicians for sex. This woman, with 2 daughters from 5 different marriages. Don't forget, he maligned her that she's from she had 5 different marriages. He said from 5 different marriages, how will she advise to bring up the 2 daughters? With all of this, the Ebu people are asking the king to strip Shimite of the title and publicly and possibly rather banish her from their lovely community, Ebu. Now, imagine writing something like that and saying something like that about a woman to defame her because she did not marry you. It tells on the kind of human being he is. And I say this to you, Agatha Amata, who is saying somebody is a riffraff. That is a riffraff. You are a riffraff. And you lied and said that you brought Shimita into politics. Do you think it's polypricks we are talking? It's not polypricks. Polypricks. That's what you are known for. Polypricks. Polypricks. Shimita never desired anything about you, Agatha Amata. Never desired anything about you. Never. You were telling her about houses in London and US. She knew how you got anything or contracts. The other state, no. You understand me? In case you don't know, go to the street and hear the gossip about you. You understand me? On how you acquire things or properties and the rest. It's not polypricks we are talking. She did a video, an interview, where she spoke about her life in politics. You were not mentioned, Agatha and Martha. You lied. All of you keep lying. You lied that we were not married. Here is the marriage certificate. And this is the picture of your brother there as a witness. This is the registrar. That is myself and Shimita holding the certificate. Aside that, your brother organized the marriage rights with the delegation and representatives from for your 9 Urokonoju family, which we did bring them, give to them their traditional rights. So we were not just married legally, we also fulfilled the traditional rights. And we were adults. So, and all the lie that she was married under hypnosis and the rest, you should all be ashamed of yourself. Because I believe maybe you people think that you're charm, because you kept saying you are Ebu Wonder, charm, the people of charm. That is what it means by Ebu Wonder. And maybe you kept thinking that had influence on me. I've said it, no deity, there's no deity on the face of this earth that has any power on me. That deity does not exist. There's no diabolism you can do against me. There is none. I have just been in a state of mourning and sadness. There is no deity that has any power on me. We have been raised to sit together with Christ in the heavenly places, far above all principalities and powers. There is no diabolism. There is no occultism that you people can use in power. You can only go about to lie and the rest. They did it to Jesus. The Bible said they say all manner of lies. We don't even know what they said to Jesus. Do you understand me? So now, I want you people to get it from the autopsy report results, which I shared in the first video. You need to go there. I want you to go there because there is a lot I shared in the first video of the precursor of things with proof. I shared it with proof in black and white. I held it like this to the camera of what was happening in their family. How my wife has taken their family to court over their father's properties. My wife took them last year to court. How the brother brought cult men to our house. If your own brother brought cult men to your house to harass you and the rest, will you have relationship with them? So all the lies that they lie to make it look like she was brainwashed and the rest. No, they were precursors to it. There were things that happened. And I shared the proof in black and white like this in that first video, which you should go to. This is the continuation. So I want you to know that in our life, with the defamation, with other things happening, and this ex of hers, he was not married though, they were not married. The person I'm talking about, his name is Darlington Nnamdi Afamide, who is the Commissioner for Culture of Trade and Tourism. She could not understand, because I asked her, okay, she said aside the fact that he was a cult man who always was having cult guys around him, and there were some occultic things about him which she didn't like. You understand? I asked her, I said, what else again? She said, well, I should take this analogy, for instance, that when every time you as a woman, you are having your period, your menstrual flow, the first day of that menstrual flow, a man will insist to sleep on you, will sleep with you, and even drink and lick from that menstrual blood. You understand me? How would you feel? She gave me that analogy. You understand me? And I call it an analogy. You know, and the man was, how would you feel? And then you start feeling sick and sick. It's like some certain virtue is leaving you. Certain virtue and vitality is leaving you. You understand what I'm saying? Now, she said that is part of it. And all the person can imagine always is evil, evil, evil. So I get it. You understand me? We've known each other for like 20 years. We've been best friends and best of friends. She opened up to me about everything. There's nothing I do not know. I know every single man on the face of the earth that have slept with her. I know every single man on the face of the earth she has had any relationship with, or if it just happened and she didn't understand how it happened. I know everything. I know everything. You understand me? To any place, to even trans up 10th floor. I know everything. I know everything. She opened up to me on many things because she found that solace and succor in me. I know everything. And there are some of them she had that relationship with. She still introduced me to them. One of them is the current current secretary to the state government, the SSG, Kingsley Emo. She took me to his office to introduce me to him, that I'm her husband, and told him blatantly that this is my husband, and I've told him about us. She didn't marry him. So if there is any form of some governmental support from Delta State in keeping quiet and allowing the family to be doing what is wrong, to even bury her illegally, it can be because even this Kingsley Ezemo, who wanted her to marry her, can be vindictive and giving them support. That is one of those things. Because it is illegal. A man, the government, even Kingsley Ezemo, knows that we were married legally. So even if she died and they brought up any story, why didn't the government never consult me? The next thing is, why should they say the family has written to them that she died? Is it the family that is the legal person with the legal right to write to them? Is Governor Sheriff Francis Oroweto Oboriwere a lawless man? Is he not enlightened enough on marriage acts? Is he not enlightened enough about marriage acts and to know to do the right thing? Why should they say a case that is under investigation, not concluded? Because autopsy has brought some proof. The preliminary results and everything came out. The autopsy had been ready since 22nd of May. They did not make it available. I only got the autopsy last week, Friday, when my lawyer, the senior advocate, Indemji Echo, now insisted on the monitoring unit of the Inspector General of Police that they must give me the result of the autopsy. It was my right in the first place. It is still my right at any time to have the autopsy of my wife. Legally, alive and dead, no family has right on her. No family, no government has right on her. No family, no government has right on her. But they use the ethnic card, ethnicity and the rest, to do this evil against me. And if Even after the autopsy came out, and they were now trying to pin me to negligence. Pin it on me to negligence. Negligence is a civil case which must go to the court of law. There are people who have died, big, great people. I think like whether in Gige or something in the Ebola, a man that has died, very big, 3 years they are into the investigation. He is not yet buried. Why are they burying her? Who is an evidence? Why? Why did monitoring unit issue out a letter to the hospital and kept sending people to the hospital in Delta State to insist that they should release a body for the family to bury her? Is monitoring unit bribed? Inspector General of Police, is that right? Are you as police, are you not supposed to ensure an investigation is concluded when it's on a case that involves death, to ensure it's concluded before the person is buried? Are you people now above the law and against the law? Why? Why? So, Inspector General of Police, please, you are under question. Your regime is corrupt if this is not corrected. You are a corrupt man if this is not corrected. As a grieving man, it is my right to speak out like this. If this is not corrected, as a citizen of this country, Nigeria, as a legal husband over my wife, it is my right to speak out if this is not corrected. And when the monitoring unit wrote that a body should be released to the family, my lawyer wrote to the monitoring unit. Here it is. He wrote to the monitoring unit to tell them that they must finish the investigation and it must be concluded. And he did not write only to the monitoring unit. He told them they must finish the investigation. It must be concluded. He did not only write to the monitoring unit, he copied the hospital of Asaba. He copied the secretary to the state government of Asaba, the same Kingsley Ezemo, my wife's ex. He copied the commissioner of police of Delta State. This is the stamp to prove that each of them were copied. You can see them, that they received the copy. They received the copy. These are the stamps. And I was the one who took it to Delta State myself and ensured that every one of them got copied. So the hospital themselves, is it the police that have the right to authorize you to release a corpse under investigation? Even when you know that the same police unit that wrote to you, a lawyer has written to them to counter it. Did that order come from the court? It cannot come from the court because the case is still under investigation. Why was the body released? What is going on here? What secret is there that they want to hide? Because politically, yes, my wife has been stressed. Psychologically, she's been stressed. Emotionally, she's been stressed. Her ex, the commissioner, stalking her. Family problems. Autopsy review that the situation and the case of hypertensiveness and the rest was heavy. Her heart enlarged. She was going through a lot. Let me show you something. There is something also that the ex liked doing. Apart from that defamation that he did, almost every month, he will send us a court petition. This is it. My wife died on the 21st. He sent this one on the 18th. My wife chat and phone, it is there. It is also in my phone because he sent it to me too. So imagine a woman who in that state, even though my wife did not know her health state, I didn't know her health state also. My wife didn't know her health state. I did not know her health state also. But in that state and condition of health, mentally her health is attacked, emotionally and the rest. And each month, because you did not marry somebody, you are threatening her. Aside the fact that you define defamation, see it. Sending something from the iPod, sent it on the 18th. Yeah, you understand me to her. She became very sickly on the 19th. Trying to navigate her way in between life. Financially, she was under pressure and the rest. When she started receiving impress and the subvention, it was just about 4 or 5 months before she died. Her budget for the year, about 100 million, she never got to use it. She will apply to do work. She will apply to work and the rest. Kingsley Ezemo, being the secretary to the state government, will not approve. For about a year, he was not approving. For maybe about a year. Let him come and bring it out. It was later on he now started approving her things. But he wasn't even approving the main things for her. The event she did, the last one she did, she got some sponsors and the rest and some other people to do it. Till date, till she died, that thing was sitting on the governor's table for months. Not approved. Not approved. And my wife was a go-getter. She wants to get things done. She was a go-getter. She wants to get things done. She liked getting things done. That's one person who had inspired me in this life that come what may, get things done. And she does not like to appear weak to anybody. She likes being a strong woman, no matter what. People who know her will confess and attest to this. I did not understand. My wife would climb stairs. She would be perpetrating. People who know her, who joined with the family, later, some of them had confessed to me when she died that, they knew that if she climbed stairs, her breathing was a struggle. And you knew all this. And you now still join with people to now lie and say, I killed her. You've known her for all those years. You never told her to go and do any organ test. Then you are putting it on me that why didn't I, who married her in less than 2 years, why didn't I tell her to do organ test? My wife is a person of her own. And I'm a person who understands laws. And part of human rights laws is people have a right to how they can be treated. That's why some people go for spiritual treatment or no treatment at all. Or none at all. So you can imagine, by the autopsy report, she's been stressed and all manner of the rest. Now, that day that she died, before that day, when she became sick, after receiving this thing from that Darlington, her ex, on the 18th, on the 19th, when she became too, she wasn't feeling herself, that's the word. She asked me to call a pharmacist who has treated her last year. Thank God the pharmacist wrote it in her statement. They treated her last year. Now, this same Darlington, she was afraid of because this is somebody who has defamed her, written a defamation. Those of you just joining in, I've read out the defamation he wrote against her. This is it, with his phone number on it. I've read it out, calling her a shame of womanhood, lying that she was married to 5 women. She was a woman who practiced infidelity and the rest because she did not marry him. That's to tell how riffraff he is. I've said a lot about that. Do you understand me? Now, the thing is this, is you understand me, is that now on that day, when I called the person attended to her. The person said it again. Madam, should we go to the hospital? She said, no, it's the same symptom of last year. So she treated her that 19th Saturday morning and night, evening. She treated her 20th Sunday morning, evening. By the 21st morning, and one thing about my wife is this, when she wants something, she wants it. Only pretenders and people who don't know her will be lying. She's a person who is courageous. Very courageous. And she hates to appear weak. She hates to appear weak. Now, on that day, before even that day, when I was saying, do we do the hospital again and the rest? And she didn't want it. I had to ensure that I'm careful because there will be, every time she wants something and she believes that's the best for herself and you don't want it with her, there will be some disaffection. There will be some disaffection. And I didn't want that disaffection because you want peace in the home. You want the presence of God. 2 of us, We were married before. She was married twice. So, and then we wanted to build a very good home. And I will not lie to you, my marriage with her is one of the best experiences of my life. The best. Our demise, our being gone is one of the worst things. In fact, it's the worst thing in my life. That's the right word. It's the worst thing. It's a nightmare for me to accept it that she's dead. It's a nightmare for me. But then all the lies, the autopsy clarified she was never poisoned. She was not strangled. There was no domestic violence. My wife don't go through any domestic violence. Now, the girl staying with us, Winifred, Siba Ebundu, that they made to lie and push around at different stations to lie. That girl, you, Winifred, Siba Ebundu, you are cursed for life. Oh. You are cursed for life. My wife shed tears like this so that we could raise school fees for you. Last year, your school fees that we paid because you were going to Babcock was about 1.5 million. That school fees. There is a way we raised it. It was not easy because her salary was not coming. She wasn't getting to use her budget and the rest. She shed tears unless my wife did not cry, say by bundu, so as to make you happy. That is the only thing that will make you find happiness in your life. You will never find happiness complete in your life. You are cursed even for lying. This same Winifred Seba Ibundu went with the pharmacist to go and buy drugs that she administered to my wife, and she lied that I locked up my wife. The pharmacist is still alive. The pharmacist wrote it in a statement at the GRA Police Division Asaba, wrote it at the state CID headquarters of the police, headquarters of the police, where the commissioner of the police is, and the deputy commissioner of police on crime is in Delta State. The same pharmacist wrote the same thing at the monitoring unit of the Inspector General of Police. Now, and you lied. You lied. It's the same you now. That day my wife died, they used this same Winifred Seba Ibundu to abduct our child. Run away with our child. You don't abduct a child to adopt the child. You cannot steal a child and adopt a child. Yes, that was not our biological child. My wife had that child through surrogate. Now, from all the story of the defamation that you see, that I read to you, that Darlington wrote, that my wife had this child for this, she never had any children for any man that were alive. She got pregnant, yes, about 4 times, but they were not, she didn't deliver them. And fortunately, she was pregnant again last year. But when this evil defamation came from this Darlington, because she didn't marry him, that day she heard it, she had miscarriage. That day, she never got the opportunity to be pregnant again. Because this was one of the things she was afraid of, defamation, propaganda. And he did that propaganda against her. Which man, if you are an honorable man, a woman they marry you, the next thing is to write propaganda and defamation against her. The next thing is to be stalking her, that every month you will be sending court order against her, that she's threatening your life and the rest, threatening her, knowing that women psychologically, it affects them a lot. Politically, she was facing challenges also at her Ebu ward, at the Oshimili North. In fact, the councillor she brought into power was against her. Even motivated the king and wrote for the king against her. Not that she did anything wrong, but that she wants to bring development to the place. I have the letter. I have the letter. Like this. Let the king come out and deny that I lied. Let the councillor deny. The councillor even called her to tell her that he is with a political enemy. So I want you to imagine a woman going through all of this. And then you want to lie that it's me that made her depressed. The autopsy revealed there was no physical abuse. She does not go through any domestic abuse. She was not poisoned. She was not strangled. And they are not the one that took her to the hospital. I took her personally to the hospital by myself. Because the third day, Medically, we know the advice. They used to say, if you are taking drugs, after 2 or 3 days and there is no improvement, then you should go to the hospital. That is what doctors advise. That if you are taking drugs or any medication, after 2 or 3 days and there is no improvement, go to the hospital. On the 3rd day, that was what I did. I saw that she wasn't improving. And it was becoming too serious. And I couldn't lift her for her weight. I noticed that this same thing that the pharmacist did for her last year, that she improved and she recovered and she was okay. She told the pharmacist it's the same symptom. It did not work this year. So when I saw it didn't work and it was rather getting worse, and I see now that I can now take my own initiative, not against our will, because it is wrong by human right to push her against her will for whatever treatment she doesn't want. When I saw that it was now my opportunity that I can do something that her will, you understand me, will not say no to it. That was when I started shouting. And here is the funny thing. That same Winifred, when I was shouting her name so that she can call the chief security for me, so that we can carry her for our weight, it was surprising that she was not there. This chief security now told me around 12 midnight, she was outside the house. These children, when they were staying with us, we never allowed them even to be outside by 8 p.m. as young ladies. One was 19 going to 20. Winifred was at, I think, 22. You understand me? We don't allow them stay outside. I was calling and nobody was answering, not knowing they were outside or whatever it is. When she came, she said, what can I do for you? I said, are you blind? Can't you see her condition? Can't you see her condition? And also, you understand me, she vomited and that she's vomiting. Go and call the chief security. She was pacing. I had to run, overtake her, get to the chief security outside. Call the chief security. The chief security came. We tried to carry my wife together. We couldn't lift my wife. The chief security had to go and look for another neighbor who now came, assisted. I was the one who drove the car by myself. Yesterday was when the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Alani Adeguke of the Delta State Headquarters, called me to ask where was the official car I used in carrying her to the hospital. And I now told them it's at GRA police station. And you bloggers began to lie and take a narrative that is not true. You are in for it. You are all in for it. Because you want to trend. You, Linda Ikeji, Easter blog, and every other blogger, whether individual or as an organization and the rest, because you want to trend, you just take story without verification. Even people who are guilty, when they verify from them, they will tell them how they are guilty. Without any verification. You began to put, because the family, glaring and clearly, they went to the registry in Abuja to tell the registrar not to give me the certified copy of our certificate. That day, when I took her to the hospital, and the doctor, after attending to an emergency case, because we met him, he was already attending to an emergency case. After some minutes, came, checked my wife and said, oh, she's gone. Took me inside the office building and said, your wife is gone. I don't know what we will do. You understand me? She's gone by now. And I was devastated and the rest. And then later on was when a family member arrived. About an hour or so before our family arrived. And they tell this girl to lie that I locked her up for 3 days. Meanwhile, the pharmacist is the witness that they were coming in, bringing in food, bringing in some things. Even our 4-year-old daughter, you understand me? I called, she's our 4-year-old, even though surrogacy, yes. And my wife gave me, because she paid for it, is her egg, and she gave me the paternity right, and I have the documents. I've shared it with some bloggers. I have the documents for it. As you can see, me, I'm not just saying one thing or the other. I bring out documents. I bring out documents as proof. You will go to the first video, you will get a lot from it to understand what my wife had been going through. And my wife was never somebody on medication. Because if you have a case of appensiveness to that kind of level, People who don't even have that kind of level, they're on medication. She was never on medication. She went through a lot, emotionally, psychologically, through this family, politically, especially, and the rest. She was going through all that. She was strained, constrained. So even if the governor comes out today to say that he awarded her a contract, that contract was said to be awarded to her in December. It is this year. The contract was now followed through. She received the contract, then they followed through. She still processed the contract with her own money for like 3 million or so. And that money was not just her money. We kept putting monies together so that the contract would be, processed. And the contract was given to somebody in our village to execute the contract because it was a school building contract. When she died, she had not received the monetization for that contract, or the person received the monetization for that contract. So there was not any money. I didn't meet my wife in money as they lied. I met her in challenges, all manner of challenges. I used to call on Apostle Anselm Abuduko to pray for us. I call on Bishop Michael Amamiye to pray for us. Some few friends, like even I think Doye Daniel, had prayed for us. One day I called Bishop Michael Amamiye and he was around there and prayed for us. There are people in Delta State who come around and they were praying. Politically, it was a onslaught and the rest. So you people, if you want to hide it, that politically, it can be anything that brought about this death. And of course, me and you know, when it comes to spiritual arrow and the rest, there's no legal thing to prove it. And every time spiritual arrow kills somebody and the rest, it results in death. And they will say it's one medical condition or the other. We all know this. We all know this. So if you people you are now trying to pin it on me so that Delta State will not look at it that politically she has been displaced. Because politically, the council chairmanship for 2027 is rotated to come to them. And maybe another place. But the leader of that other place, Professor Andy Egunyaga, had said he will give us support. We went to his house. And the people, the political ESCO of our place and leaders came to the house and swore allegiance to her that she would take the mantle. But the council chairman and her are not on good terms. Unless he wants to lie. They were never on good terms. And the reason is because she did the economic plan for him and didn't take money from him, but said that he should do something for their local government, at least market and the rest. He built 30 stores and wanted to dedicate it. She refused. Later, he went there now to build, maybe to complete it as maybe 300 stores or 200 stores. But in his own place, building 1,600 and something stores and other things. Of course, she wasn't happy. Despite all this she was going through, she was still hardworking. She designed the Delta State Export Strategy Framework. Kingsley Ezeemo and the rest don't take the glory for our work. And that also troubled her. Because when she did so much work on that, let it be approved so that it's printed. Let it be approved that it's printed. She was taking back, forth, some committee and the rest. She was going through all this stress. And by standard, our Delta State Strategy Framework is the best in Nigeria. Delta State Export Strategy Framework, the best. And that is not the only thing. She did it as a big work. She only took something out of it and gave to Delta. She's a sacrificial person. She doesn't like taking glory, even for most things. So, by autopsy, the depression and everything is not me. I was a backbone. I was a support, a cover. We had a home of love, a moment of tranquility. Because she's been married before, I've been married before. So both of us ensured there was no toxicity in our marriage. There was nothing of any form of evil in our marriage. So you people, if you want to politically cover, because this is how people are removed when it's coming to some political time. And the lies are just too much online, and bloggers, you just take things without verification. You will all be sued for defamation. And I don't want to make this long. So it is poignant that we ask the government, why did they give support for her to be illegally buried? Why did they give support for her to be illegally buried? Why? Why did they give such support? Why? Why did they give such support? Why? When by documents I have showed you, monitoring unit, the police cannot be investigating a case. A case is supposed to still go from their level now it has gotten to a civil level. It is proven by autopsy I'm not responsible, but they are trying to nail me on negligence and the rest because she refused treatment. At her age, she has the right to decide how she should be treated. Is human right. Or the police will say they don't know human right. Or the people in Nigeria will say they don't know human right. Some people is traditional things they do. They take agbo and other things. It's their right. It is their right. Some people don't treatment at all. Jehovah's Witnesses don't even take blood transfusion. So in home we have decided to maintain tranquility. We decided to maintain serenity. And to do that, you must have some boundaries. And some things you want for yourself that is not against human rights. I do not go against it. I'm a supporting man. And some people will say, okay, if you know that she was a woman with several big relationship problems here and there and the rest, why did you still marry her? The truth is this is, I love her. I love her. And despite her past, I have a past too. I'm not perfect too. Everybody has a past. Everybody is not perfect. Despite whatever mistake she made, I chose to marry her because she's a person with a pure heart, good motive, always. She might not have understood life, but she had good motive always. 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 So I call on the Inspector General of Police. I call on you, Governor of Delta State. I call on you, the Secretary to the State Government. Is it because of vindictiveness that she didn't marry you? You are supporting them to bury her illegally. You were also there for illegal burial. Even after receiving all those documents, even after ensuring receiving the autopsy, can you and will you, as a person who claimed to be educated, not have told them, finish this case first? This is improper. Won't you people have said, finish the case first? It's improper. Won't you have said so? You understand me? Won't you? Won't you have said so? Police is of the monitoring unit. Why were you people telling me not to talk, not to go online, not to see anything? Why were you telling me that I should allow them take any property? Is that your jurisdiction? What bribe did you receive? What bribe did you receive? Is that the kind of thing you want the people in the society to think about the police? Illegality? Why did you go and detain me when I shouldn't have been detained? What court would have given you such order when there was autopsy on ground, autopsy result on ground, and you kept it? The first thing you should have done as the monitoring unit, as you received the case immediately and they gave you the autopsy, is it not to say, okay, everybody have a copy of the autopsy? Or even teach me and say, tell your lawyer to apply for the autopsy. Why were you all keeping it until my lawyer now applied, and until last week Friday? An autopsy has been ready since 22nd of May. 22nd of May, stamped. And the pathologist that did the autopsy is from the family. It's the family that brought the pathologist. It's not me. It's not me. So they cannot claim that the result is faked. And the family lied on their press conference that the autopsy was not ready. when it was ready, signed, and they received it. So many things happened that, some I cannot even think of now. And you all want to pin it on me and lie that I killed my wife. I love my wife. We had over 50 years plan of life together. No family member will be saying that they are the one more hurt than me, because each and every one of them, they have a life partner. Each and every one of them that is my own life partner that has gone. Each and every one of them will be in a relationship. And let me say this to you, Agatha and all of you, the rest, anything that I am not, and all of you bloggers and any other human being, anything that I am not, and I was not to my wife Shmite, that was put out there against me, your children will become it. You will encounter people that are it. You will be victim of such in the name of Jesus Christ. Your lives will ever be miserable in the name of Jesus Christ. To the 10th generation, it will run that way. Those of you that your children are your happiness, these same children will become your sadness, and these same children will curse you before your death in the name of Jesus. And some of you will bury your children in the mighty name of Jesus. Such evil, obnoxiousness, such callousness, I've never seen. Despicable set of human beings. All in the name of property. My wife was not yet buried. The day she died, they stole the car key. One of the key to the car that was outside. They took the car, and now they lied to somebody that the car belonged to the sister, because that car was official car given to her by Okowa. After the tenure, the car becomes your own. You can now go and change it to your personal something. They took the car. They've now changed documents to the elder sister, and they lied that it belongs to the elder sister. God will punish you. They even told the monitoring unit to tell me that our own house that we are staying, that I must call them, let them come and choose what I should take from our house, and let them take everything and anything they want. God will punish you. It will never be better for you and your family and your children. In the name of Jesus Christ. Such evil. A good woman left the face of the earth. Unfortunately, both of us, myself, her husband, and herself, because if I know the state of her health, and she knows the state of her health, of course, she will not be doing all those stressful things and going through all those stress, from politics to family to other things to X and the rest. On a very good day, it's that state of health is an emergency where the lungs has expanded more than twice the size. The liver rather. The autopsy stated it. If I didn't get the autopsy, and immediately I got the autopsy. Immediately I got it on Friday by evening. By Monday I hit the road. I made sure Tuesday the necessary parties had the autopsy. And these are the necessary parties. The hospital, they have the autopsy. This is the office of the secretary to the state government. They have the autopsy. This is the governor's office himself. Have the autopsy. And make sure these three parties that they all had the autopsy. Immediately. It was kept. We would all have had it before now. When the commissioner of police, when the autopsy was conducted, and the commissioner of police of Delta State invited us 3 consecutive times, each week, they refused to show up. The next thing is they start planning a burial in the name of our ex-husband, that they were fully divorced, and we refunded his dowry to him. Richard Bello, did we not refund your dowry to you? Wimp. If you are not a wimp, they want to bury a woman you have divorced in your name. Don't you know it's criminal? It means that you are organizing with them as a criminal to state that you are the legal husband so that they can go and take properties. You too, you are a thief. You are a crook. You are a wimp. And this is our marriage certificate. This is the certified true copy. This is the picture. Sorry, the picture of our brother is here. This is a change of name from Bello to Love from the Federal High Court. And she did publication with Leadership newspaper. Leadership newspaper. January 2024. She did the publication. So, this is the picture. This is our brother at the registry. Myself and I. This is the registrar. And you still collected your traditional rights. And by the grace of God, Shimite Winifred is the only woman I legally married. I never did any registry wedding, even though I was, yes, married before. I never did it. She's the only person I legally married. And now she's gone. So I want to thank everybody, because I believe I would just maybe be blabbing or taking you into different other things. But I want this, please be shared. Let people see. Let people know the truth. The press conference, they say press conference for justice. If you do a press conference for justice on a case, you must have a lawyer there to ascertain that by law, these are the laws broken. You must have a doctor when it involves death to state the real thing medically that happened about the death of that person. You must have police there so that they can say how the case has been investigated. They did not have any of these people and they kept lying. It was all a dramatic, scripted press conference. My wife went through a lot. She went through a lot. She went through a lot. Politically, in family, she went through a lot. And I was not part of it. The day she died, when they started assaulting me in the hospital to fight me, and there were many of them surrounded like they would do jungle justice. Police came to rescue me. Let me say the truth. Even if police is corrupt, not all police are corrupt. And that is one of their problems. That's why on their press conference, they were not happy that the police of Delta State, in doing proper investigation from GRA Police Division to the state CID headquarters with the Commissioner of Police and the Deputy Commissioner of Police on ground, they did not find me guilty, and with proven autopsy. They did not find me guilty. So they brought it to where they could play, because whether the monitoring unit of the Inspector General Police like it or not, your actions are questionable. Your actions are questionable. Very questionable. If people are claiming negligence, you will not say by law, you don't know it's a civil case. They should go to court and track it out. Why tell me I should go and mourn in silence? I should hide. I should just hide and the rest. Don't say anything. Don't say anything don't even speak against anything they said at the press conferences. Don't do any press conference. Don't say anything. Keep quiet. And then you keep disturbing the hospital and giving them order to release the body. Even after my lawyer has written to you to say you must investigate, it is in the lawyer's right by law to tell police to reinvestigate anything. And that if a case must move from the police to the court, it is not in any police right to say that this person in concern, when it comes on the case of death, should be buried. What have you received? I want to leave it this way. So, now also the Delta State government, Governor Sheriff Francis Orowedo Beruwere, is it right that even as I'm the legal husband, it is our family, because they are your people and Deltans, that you will give backing, support, and probably even the reward for my wife, you want to give it to them? God will judge you. That altar of living faith that you claim you tied yourself to. Sheriff Francis Orowedo Beruwere, You know you are among those who took advantage of my wife. I use that altar to challenge your family. If in my heart I grieve, you will be grieving forever. You will be grieving forever. You will be grieving forever. Like I said, I know everything that happened. Transcorp eating and all that. I know everybody that took advantage of my wife. I know it all. And if anything happened to me, they will hold all of you responsible because I know your secrets.